Craftsman Days are here at Lowe's with big savings on the tools you need. Right now, get a free select tool when you buy the Craftsman V20 2-pack battery kit. Whether it's the backyard, the bathroom, or beyond, Craftsman has the tools to help you power through and get the project done right. Because DIYing is unpredictable, but your tools shouldn't be. Shop Craftsman at Lowe's today. Valid through 6/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
We've got ourselves a lot of baseball to be able to decipher, and we do have ourselves a finals game as well. And I mentioned this with regards to the NBA Finals game between the Indiana Pacers and the OKC Thunder. Right now with the Thunder, they're about 9 to 9.5 point favorites. Totals 230.5 to 231. If I were looking to bet anything prior to the game, I would be looking at the under. Myself and Wes Reynolds talked about this a little bit earlier on during the hour, and that typically with big games like this, in a game number one of a finals series, you do find a little bit more of a feeling out process. Even though the Indiana Pacers have been such a high-octane offense, they just have not seen too many teams like the OKC Thunder this year. And with the Thunder, obviously Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been amazing, but a player prop of plus 35 points to be able to go over, that's just a little bit too much in my opinion. You've had Jalen Williams actually be really good for the Thunder team as well. I think these went very much under the radar. Now, I wouldn't want to go north of 20 with regards to a player prop of his as well. I'm looking at a lot of unders, especially with Miles Turner. He just didn't show me anything in that series that we saw against the New York Knicks. His rebounds were way down from that series against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I do think that Chet Holmgren going to be able to have some nice domination here in game number one. His rebound prop is at 10. That's really the lone of the big props that I'd be willing to take a shot on the over on, because I do think that Holmgren is going to be the best little post player in this game. But with regards to just take a look at this game number one, I do think that it's a little bit correlated in that if you like the under, it probably bodes a little bit better for the Thunder on the spread. Meanwhile, if you like the over, it bodes a little bit better for the Pacers. But this is a game where I want to be feeling it out in game. I want to be seeing, all right, what sort of ebbs and flows are we going to be getting? And with the Pacers, if you're able to get a good number in game, that has been very profitable here in the postseason, as they have had 3 deficits of 7+ points that they've been able to erase in the final 50 seconds of the game. So that's where I'm going to be looking there. If I had to bet anything right now, I would be looking at that under. And how about if we take a look at what we're all going to be getting in baseball on this Thursday, right here on Cashing Out on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. And what we do want to be doing is making sure that you know that all of our best bets here, they are brought to you by G-Bank. G-Bank is introducing the $500 trifecta, where they've teamed up with us, First Bet, as well, to be able to get you guys a really nice value where you're able to get up to $500 in value. All you need to do is open up a G-Bank Visa signature card, and in your first 90 days, deposit and play through $1,000 at First Bet to trigger the $500 trifecta. You're able to receive a $200 cashback rewards on your Visa signature credit card. At First Bet, they will give you a $100 deposit match. VSiN completes that trifecta with a free VSiN Pro subscription through October 31st. So that is a $200 value. That gives you a $500 trifecta between us here at VSiN, First Bet, and G-Bank. You want to head on over to vsin.com/Gbank. That is VSIN.com/Gbank. And this is a one-time promotion that is limited to customers opening up a new account in response to this offer, and this will not apply to requests for convert existing accounts. Apply today. Terms and conditions, they do apply. And I was mentioning just before the break that I'm going to be in on the under in terms of Yankees versus Guardians. Have yet to play this side yet. I'm hoping that we're able to get a little bit more plus value on the Cleveland Guardians. I think that we should be able to do so. But with regards to this doubleheader between the Royals and the St. Louis Cardinals, it's very interesting because I'm going to be splitting it up. Game number one, as long as we can get the Royals right around about a plus 115 or so, I'm seeing as good as a plus 116 on the money line. I'm going to be looking there, but I do like this total over because with Noah Cameron, Miles Michaelis, these are a pair of very much pitch contact guys that I think that they're going to be caught up with a little bit of regression here. As for Cameron, Ainea has been incredible in his first 4 starts. 26 plus innings. He has allowed just 3 runs. He's posting up an ERA of a 1.10, but less than 6 strikeouts per 9 innings, albeit pretty good with his command. Fewer than 3 walks per 9 innings, but I do think that the regression monster is starting to come for him a little bit. And Miles Michaelis has just been able to put together a really nice surge in general. Like Miles Michaelis' career looked like it was done a few different times last season and the season before, but he's been able to do a good job of being able to hunker down, not give up a lot of hard contact, albeit in his last start against the Baltimore Orioles, did give up 4 runs in that start, but he's right now giving up about a half home run per 9 innings. But again, I do think that there's going to be a little bit of regression there. I do think that this Royals team that has been in the bottom 6 in the big leagues in terms of runs per game, they are going to be able to rise up a bit more with this offense. You still have got Bobby Witt Jr. in the lineup, who he's been having a bit of a rough go of it this year. For Bobby Witt Jr. standards, not talking like Greg Peterson standards. I wish I could hit like Bobby Witt Jr., but he's been able to hit for north of a 280. He's been able to give you about 7 home runs. You expect a little bit more on the power front from him. And then you've got a lot of guys like a Drew Waters and company that are towards the bottom of the lineup that they're honestly moving the line. They're getting on base, but they're not doing a great job of being able to hit for power. Salvador Perez has had very much a season to forget. And then on the Cardinal side of things, they're playing a lot of station-to-station baseball as well. Lars Nootbaar has led the way with 8 home runs, and you've been able to have quite a few guys be able to mix and match. Mason Wynn has been able to give you a 350 on base. A little bit of power there, but Nolan Arenado has been way down with regards to those power numbers as well. And I do have a lot more faith here in the Royals bullpen. One that has been in the top 8 in the big leagues in terms of bullpen ERA. Carlos Estevez, Lucas Hursic, the 8th and 9th inning duo for the Royals has been supreme. And then you're able to throw in there the likes of Steven Cruz, Daniel Lynch and company in for the Cardinals. While you do have Ryan Helsley, who I think is one of the better closers in all of baseball. 3 ERA. Kyle Leahy along with John King have been pretty solid as well. But you do have some shakiness with regards to some of these, shall we say, lesser guys that you've tried to mix and match with. So like that money line with the Royals in game number 1 and that total over. And then you do like game number 2 over as well, mainly because with Cole Ragans, even though he's giving you 14.2 strikeouts per 9 innings, he is coming off of pretty much a 3-week hiatus. He last pitched in the middle of May, and that's something that you always want to be mindful of. I do believe that these guys, when they come off the injured list, even when they have proper rehab starts, they just are a little bit shaky, and it's hard to be able to simulate being on a big league mound, even when you're at the minor league level. And for the St. Louis Cardinals, you got on the flip side a guy, Matthew Liberatore, who low-key has been one of the most underrated pitchers in all baseball this far this season, as he's been able to supply you with a sub-3.2 ERA. The fielding independence has been really good as well. He's not necessarily some sort of a swing and miss strikeout artist. He's only getting about 8 strikeouts per 9 innings, but 1.3 walks per 9 innings. He's only giving up 0.6 home runs per 9 innings, so that gives them a 265 fielding independent. And I do think that for the Cardinals, getting right around about a minus 115 or so in that game number 2, they should be able to get it done. I do like them on the money line. And then this game, I think, is one of intrigue because this one did not make my VSiN write-ups because this was a game where we really just didn't have any numbers when I filed these in, because typically I do mine based on like the overnight numbers. I typically have mine up by 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern, and up until the conclusion of Mets versus Dodgers here on Wednesday, we really didn't have a lot of openers. Right now it's opening up with the Mets being about a plus 120 to a plus 126 underdog, and then you've got about minus 136, minus 143 on the Dodgers with a total of 9.5, and I just trust in David Peterson here. Great name, by the way. He's been able to do a nice job of being able to mitigate that hard contact. 0.6 home runs allowed per 9 innings. 265, 270-ish ERA. Fielding Pennant is more around a 330 as he's been able to do a nice job in terms of being able to hone in with regards to walks, fewer than 3 walks per 9 innings, but not necessarily getting as many strikeouts as he has in past years. And for Landon Knack, it does feel like he's rounding into form a little bit more with the Dodgers, but that's not saying a whole heck of a lot as he has been necked around throughout his career, if you get what I'm putting down there. But for the LA Dodgers, it is a bunch that you know that they're going to be able to give you some offense with Mookie Betts and company just having their ups and downs in the last few days with Betts. I know that he was dealing with a little bit of an injury. You should have pretty much your full allotment of guys out there for the LA Dodgers. Obviously, Shohei Ohtani being able to give you 23 home runs, giving you nearly a 400 base. That has been tremendous for the team. And then you've got Will Smith, who's been able to pair up with Freddie Freeman and giving you north of a 325 on base. Those guys in the middle of the lineup have been tremendous. But on the flip side, you do have a Mets team that all of a sudden is getting hot at the plate with Juan Soto being able to give you multiple homers in the last 7 days. So that's been something that's been very encouraging for the team. Pete Alonso was able to launch 2 home runs on Wednesday. He's been able to come into form. He's been able to give you darn near a 400 on base as well. And I do think that for the New York Mets, this team is starting to really be able to find it on the road. And I do think that they're catching a Dodgers team that is dealing with a lot of bullpen issues at just the right time. I do think that you're going to get a good start out of Peterson. So at the 9.5, I do like that under. I do like the Mets on the money line.